I have this photo I took in my kitchen that I want to make look like it's a part of the Harry Potter series. Now, I think this photo looks pretty good. I took it on my iPhone 12, so it's not that of a digital, but it's pretty good for editing purposes. And for that, this video is sponsored by Fiverr. And with that, we're going to be hiring someone directly from Fiverr to edit this photo to make it look like I belong in the Harry Potter series. So we're going to log into Fiverr. I'm going to jump on my laptop over here, get that all pulled up, and we're going to find some different editors on Fiverr who specialize in photo manipulation, so they can take my photo in the kitchen from a basic photo to something that could even possibly be one of the posters for a Harry Potter movie, hopefully. I mean, I guess I can always take my shots, right? But, I mean, with that being said, I think it should be pretty good. I have a photo I edited a little while back that is kind of themed around Harry Potter, so with that being said, I think it should turn out pretty good. But for that, let's hop into it. We're going to go to Fiverr.com here, and we're going to go search in their $5 range to see what we can find. Alrighty here, so for the first up at the $5 range, looks like we have Wiki Design. If you're looking for photo editing and photo retouching service under the following categories: photo retouching, Photoshop editing, photo manipulation, color correction, background removal, all that stuff, that sounds exactly like what we're looking for. So I think this should be a good one, especially for the $5 range. It's going to be a simple image. They have one simple images editing. Clearly, English isn't their stronghold, but I'm not going to hold that to them. Either way, we're going to click continue. Next up here, we got the $30 range. We have Florin Alex here. I like the name. It just makes me think of putting the pedal to the metal, putting the foot to the floor. I don't know why it made me think of that. I just think that's kind of funny, especially when it comes to like doing Photoshop. They're doing their hardest work. But with that being said, they will do photo manipulation and blend images in Photoshop, exactly what we need. And they have 2,455 5-star reviews. I think it's kind of insane they only have one order in queue, but it's $30, so I mean, hey, we're going to get that one rolling. Got this nice little pre-typed message that I'm sending to each person on Fiverr that I'm looking for an editor to have edit this photo of me in the kitchen with a Harry Potter outfit. To be edited something like it's straight out of the Harry Potter movies. Simply, just let me know if you have any questions. Made it nice and easy for anyone who's going to be getting these to respond to it. And with that being said, we're moving up to the next level. We're already in the $100 range. Karan17 here, 793 5-star reviews. I think it's a pretty safe bet that they do good work. They have as their title, I will do photo manipulation, retouching, and editing in Photoshop. I mean, a lot of these titles, they get right to the point. It says, I will do complex manipulation editing like the main photo of this gig. And I mean, this main photo that they use is a pretty good representation of what they could do. They do the color, they do the background, they reset the scene, they do some stuff along those lines. Overall, I think this one's going to be a really good one for $100. Next up, we have Thunderer ICA. And I mean, our price range is getting up there pretty quick. We're at the $130 range just to edit one photo. I mean, which might seem like a lot, but hey, this is a YouTube video, so go big or go home. But they'll do high quality Photoshop editing or photo manipulation. I mean, once again, they just get straight to the point. There's no like YouTube clickbait title, I will edit your photo in 5 seconds or your money back. Something like that. Something silly. Overall, I think at $130, they do good work looking through some of these images. I mean, some of these look amazing. Some of these photos, I'll show some of the photos in the video here of this Fiverr seller. So if you want to go check them out, or, you know, you just want to kind of look at some cool images they've edited, you can check those out. And hopefully with that, that'll be a pretty good $130 purchase. Well, it's about that time. We've gone through 4 Fiverr editors reaching up to the $130 mark. And this one right here, we've got the Big Papa. This one's at $260 to edit one photo. I mean, this person, I'm hoping that this one turns out the best, but who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see, you know? Maybe we'll figure out that 260, you should be paying that, maybe you shouldn't, who knows? I guess we'll see. This one is SIDDIKHP. I think that's Siddiq HP. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. If it's wrong, I'm sorry. I apologize, but they will do Photoshop image editing and photo manipulation, highly professional HQ manipulation plus retouching. I've never heard anyone in the photo industry use HQ, but it sounds good and I like it. And they're commercially licensed, so who knows? They're gonna figure something out and commercially license this. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, those are our 5. We went in, we got all the 5. Each of these, they're gonna take a couple days, a day or two, something along those lines to edit them. When it comes to editing, I'll hop back over here and we'll kind of go through some of the results. Alrighty folks, we're back. The results are in. First up, we got Wiki Designs here. This was the $5 option. Just the really simple editing, wasn't anything too crazy, and I mean, here's what it looks like. Overall, I mean, for $5, I don't really think you can get too much better than this. I mean, there's definitely a lot more they could have done, most definitely, but for $5, I mean, that's you're kind of paying a little bit of what you're, you know, or you're getting a little bit of what you're paying for here with the $5 option. As you can see down on like the shadow of myself there, that shadow isn't all that great, and it's not like representative of what the other shadows look like. For example, if you look up here by this light here, it's a lot softer of a shadow, and you kind of just look around at some of the objects here that are casting shadows over in this other area over here. The shadows just aren't consistent. As well as if you look down here by some of the windows in the building, you'll see that some of the shadows aren't consistent. But I mean, for $5, I don't really know what else you can expect on something like that. And then another thing as well is the perspective isn't correct. I wouldn't be this tall in the scene, and this was the first thing that I noticed, but one of the more important things I wanted to mention was the shadows of myself. But like, if you look at how tall I am in this photo, and then you look at the size of this door over here, it just, I'm like bigger than the door. And I mean, I'm not tall. I'm not tall. I'm 5'7" on a good day. So, I mean, there's no way I'm being taller than this door. So, but other than that, I mean, for $5, I don't know. I guess you're kind of getting a little bit of what you're paying for. And I mean, overall, I think for the price, in my opinion, if you're going to do something with like a deeper edit where you want a little bit more done, I think you should just save up your money a little bit more. Instead of spending only $5 to have something edited, try maybe pushing it a little bit more, adding a little bit more money into your budget there so that we can end up with some better results. And with that being said, we're going to head over to the next photo. For contestant number 2, we've got up Florin Alex. And for this one, let's see how it looks. Wow. I mean, this one was the $30 purchase. And I mean, I think this looks straight out of the Harry Potter movies. This one is super good. The amount of detail even that they included on myself. One thing I noticed here is I'm looking at the glasses. In the original photo, I'll throw the photo up somewhere on the screen here. You can see that in the original photo, like in the reflection of the glasses, you can see the kitchen behind me, which they didn't remove in the $5 photo. But they went all out on this $30 one. I mean, they crushed it. I think maybe for like the realism purpose of like, if I were to take that and try to make a video kind of being like, yep, I took a photo shoot in my kitchen and made it look like it's a Harry Potter scene. I don't think I could do that, but I could do something along the lines of this of like, oh, I did a photo shoot with my iPhone and that iPhone produced this photo, like with all the editing. It looks great. The detail around the feet, they included the shadows, so it actually looks like I'm standing there. They have the, I don't know what the eagle griffin looking thing is in the background, but I like it. It looks sweet. The like forest has a really cool look. Just overall, fantastic job. I love how this one looks, especially with the wand and the book there too. They both give off a super cool effect there. So right now, I think for $30, I think they maybe are underselling themselves a little bit. I think they could maybe raise the prices a little bit there to even potentially do something like that. I would pay $60 for something like that. I mean, I really like how that looks. And, you know, for someone like me, if I'm trying to just help speed up the process of what I'm trying to do, I think $30 to $60 to have them spend an hour, 2 hours, however long editing the photo or however long it would take me, is totally worth that. So, overall, like, they did a fantastic job, and I may be going to that person again. I guess we'll see in the near future here. But with that, we're gonna head to person number 3. And next up, we've got the $100 mark. Someone put the sirens off. We just broke $100. Ooh, 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 ooh. But for this one, we have Quran 17 up for this one. I don't know if I mentioned it before in the last video or not, but there was someone else that I was trying to go through, and things didn't work out with them, so I ended up going with this person at that $100 mark there. And this right here is what they produced. And I mean, this one, I really like this one a lot as well. I'm not really sure if I like it more than the last one. I do like the fact that it is simpler. There's a lot less stuff going on overall in the image. And then one thing I do really love that they did is they color matched. So in the original image that I took, I had like a red light in the book that was kind of giving a little bit of light onto myself while I was holding like the wand. And they kind of went off that, and they almost just turned it into an orange, which, I mean, isn't red, but it's close enough. They definitely got that there, and I think the colors look really well. I think it's well placed. I think down at the bottom, I don't know if I sent them a bad photo or something, but there's a little bit of the shoe cut off. But overall, I like the place that they put this image. I think they did a really good job. Overall, for $100, I don't know. I think I would almost rather go with the $30 person, in my opinion, just because of the fact that I bet I could go back to the $30 person and I could be like, hey, maybe if I want this less edited and I want less stuff in this, they could probably do something like that. Would make it a lot simpler. I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to do something like that. But overall, with this, the $100 option here with Quran, I think he did a fantastic job. This looks super cool. And in the background, I think that's a painting. It kind of looked like a hallway for a second, but overall, this looks like it looks a little bit like the, trying to think of what you call them, the hallways or not the hallways, like the dining hall area in Harry Potter. It looks a little bit like it. Obviously, I don't think this is exactly it. Honestly, it kind of looks more like a somewhere in like a business. And now that I think about it, there's like people in the background too. Interesting. I didn't notice that. I just am now noticing that. But there's like, it looks like to be like some like children in the background. So that's a good concept that they're including, to include some of the Harry Potter characters. And they did some pretty decent lighting work, especially just for an iPhone photo. And working with my hair, they did a pretty good job there with that. And overall, I'd say for $100, very pleased with how they did. Quran here did a very good job. And with that, we're going to go on to the 4th person. Now, take a look at this. I think overall, the artwork is really good. One thing I'm not the biggest fan of is the coloring on it. Just because the original photo, I was kind of going for a red look. But part of that also was on my end. I didn't let him know that. I didn't make that transparent. I just told them to go with it and run with it and do what they like. I think in terms of the overall editing, though, they did a really good job. I like how the look over the spell book is. It kind of has like a little, I don't know if that's a fiery glow or if it's like a little smoky type thing they got going on there. But overall, I think that looks cool. And then it looks like they redid the glasses. Because, I mean, maybe they didn't redo them, I don't know, but whatever they did with the glasses, because it looks like there's a little bit of work done there, looks really good, like how they did that. And they just ended up coloring over some of those red areas on my neck in blue, and I think they did a really good job of it too, especially for just a photo on an iPhone 12. And then the Patronus spell coming out there, out of the wand, looks really good. They even added in a little bit of motion blur too, which I think really helps sell that effect. And they also helped blend it in and put it right in the woods, which is a very iconic scene in the Harry Potter movies. So I'm trying to remember which one it is. I believe it is The Prisoner of Azkaban, where he's out in the woods and he has the scene where he casts the Patronus. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go watch the Harry Potter series, I guess. But overall, I really like what they did here. Thunderer ICA. And this was at the $130 mark. I don't know if I had mentioned that or not, but it's at the $130 mark. And in comparison to like the $100 mark and the $30 mark, I think they're pretty comparable. I think all three kind of go in the same boat. Maybe the $30 person, I think, could charge maybe a little bit more. And comparatively speaking, I think some of these people in this $100, $130 range, I don't know if they're doing a whole lot to separate themselves from that person. So either, I don't know, maybe it's the $100 to $130 person have to drop their offers a little bit to kind of compare. But I guess, you know, it's a free market. That's kind of what freelance work is. They kind of charge whatever they want to charge. And then myself as the customer, I go and purchase that. Or maybe some of you guys, if you guys want to purchase, you can definitely go do that. Just remember, I'll have a link in the description down below to tag you guys can use to get a 10% discount off on your first purchase over at Fiverr. So, I mean, with that being said, just to kind of wrap things up with the fourth person here on Thunderer, I think they did a really good job. Fantastic. It looks great. They definitely are a professional at this, and they deserve how much they're getting. And with that being said, we're going to hop over to person 5 to check out the final one at that $260 mark. Now, with that being said, they still have, I was messaging them today, and they still have a couple days to work on that one. They're really putting their time into it. So I'm going to hop back onto the camera here in a couple days here. Hopefully they'll have it finished within the next day or two here. So that way we can film up and we can kind of come to a conclusion. With that being said, you guys will see me in a little bit. Alrighty, and we're back for the last and final edit. We have the most expensive one here at that $260 mark, passing up that $200 range. So hopefully this one turns out the best. Hopefully this is the one that I like the most. And with that, hopefully this seller here, Citic HP, hopefully they turn out something that makes it look like I'm in the Harry Potter movies and that I should end up being in it. With that being said, let's take a look at how it is. Overall, taking a look at the image with my first kind of like thoughts of the image. Overall, for the price point, I don't like it as much as the other ones. Part of that is because I did want this person to keep the shot in the original environment too, so I'm sure that has part to do with it as well. Like, there are a couple details. I'll talk about some of the things that I like and some of the things I don't like about it, being that this one was the most expensive one. One of the things that I am a big fan of and I really like off the back is what they did with the wand here, kind of like some of the magic stuff they included. I don't know if you want to call these like twinkles, sparkles. Like, they made it look really mystical, which I really like. They did the same thing with the book here, and then they included these little shards too, which I really like the look of that. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think it looks kind of cool. It's a cool element. And then some of the coloring here, I like that he overall gave it like this orangish hue. It's kind of a little bit of what I was going for when I did the original shot itself. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I don't necessarily like about it. The first and foremost thing being is that this was the $260 price point. This looks like very well it could have been made by the $100 price point or the $130 or even the $30 price point. So I mean, I guess that really goes to show that any freelancers out there, like, you should be charging maybe a little bit more. This person, I mean, they're charging $260 for their work. So I mean, you could definitely get away with paying a little bit more. Another thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is kind of what they did for like my face. The overall lighting, I understand that they were trying to make the scene a little bit cohesive, but in some areas it was a little dark. And then as well, this little owl in the background. I mean, I guess it kind of just putting that there really made it seem like it's kind of novice work. And I didn't want to tell the Fiverr workers like too much of what to do on the scene and with this scene. I just kind of wanted to give them a little bit of a rough background of what to do there when it comes to the scene. So, and then I guess another thing, maybe being a little bit nitpicky, is like easily some of these lights up top here could have been photoshopped out pretty easily, but they just ended up being left in there. Part of that could have been me just not explaining that enough. So I'm going to give this person the benefit of the doubt when it comes to along those lines. Overall, in conclusion, I think my favorites were probably the $30 and the $100 people for the photo editing, which would be Karan17 and as well Florin Alex. Both of them did a great job. I love it. And some of the reasons I love those two in particular is partially because of the price point. Specifically, someone like myself, I'm getting to the point in my photography business where I'm looking to outsource a little bit of stuff. So these are people that I'm going to be talking with in the near future here to potentially work on more projects as well for doing like photo manipulation, photo editing, because I definitely want to do more of these styled videos. So these are people I'm going to be keeping in contact with, being the price point. And as well, part of that too that I really like about what they did is I thought overall the way they blended together like the colors and the highlights and some of the shadows, and as well just brought the whole scene together. I think they did fantastic jobs of doing that, and in my opinion, the $30 and the $100 were the best people who did it. One thing that the $100 person I wish they maybe would have done a little bit differently is not chopped off the whole foot there down at the bottom, but needless to say, that might have been partially on me because a lot of these people, I didn't have them do a ton of edits and revisions afterward, maybe just slight small revisions. That was it. So that's something where if I'm like, hey, you know what, I noticed that this part is chopped off, can you re-add that part in? I'm sure that's a no problem issue that can be solved. Alrighty, in conclusion, I'm going to be doing a 1 versus 1 here, kind of looking at the final photos one last time, really taking a look between who I think is the best overall, kind of doing a 1v1 versus my two favorites, which was Florin Alex and Karan17, taking a little peek at that, and kind of just giving some final details, some final thoughts, taking one last peek here, overall giving my winner for that. And kind of looking at overall these images, the big thing I'm taking away from these two that I like the most is how the lighting is done on my face overall between the final edit and the first image. And just taking a look at the lighting, because that's kind of the main differentiator between these two photos, I have to go with the $100 option here with Karan17. I really like the way that they kept the lighting similar to what I originally did. And that's personally what I was going for. And that's no discredit to Florin Alex. I think he did a great job. Same with all the other editors in here. I think they all did a great job, even the person who charged $5. And with that conclusion, with Karan17 being my personal winner, I'm going to be probably working with them on another project or two in the near future here for some editing that I need done, because I do want to do a little bit more of these photo manipulation styled videos, not only for long form, but for short form content as well, too. And I got to give a big shout out to Fiverr for sponsoring this video. For anyone out there, if if you need any Photoshop work done, any photo manipulation work done, heck, if you need to get a script written, if you need any sort of work done that involves any video processing, heck, I'm sure you can even find people out there for taxes. You can go on to Fiverr.com, check out their website. You can use the code JD the Camera Guy to get 10% off any order that you do on Fiverr. As well, you can also start your own creator account on Fiverr. If you think you did better than maybe some of these people out here, or you think you could maybe do something similar, we can give it a go, create an account on Fiverr, and get things rolling today. Perfect, and that's been all for this video. Once again, I want to thank Fiverr a ton for sponsoring this video. If you guys haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe, like this video, comment down below what you thought, comment your winner and who you thought won this editing contest. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.